curious what you've seen from P.O. In camp in these preseason games, and especially in terms of his consistency, because I know that's something that you guys have worked on.
Yeah, so I think P.O.'s had he's had some real good play and some not so good play. I thought he was, I thought he struggled in the first period today, but I thought the second and third he really grabbed a hold of himself in his game. I thought he played much better in the second and third. He just settled down into the game and took what the game gives him. And, I think he's a guy that's a real conscientious kid. He really wants to make a difference. And he's doing everything in his power to make the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sometimes when you do that, you try to do a little too much. And so that was a conversation that we've had with him as of late, and just taking what the game gives him and just embracing the process and trusting his instincts. I thought in the second and third tonight, I thought he was really good.
What have been your impressions of Ty Smith in this game and then throughout the preseason?
So I think his offensive game is really, I think it's really evident. He's great along the offensive blue line. He scales the line on the power play or even 5-on-5, and has the ability to distribute the puck. He's good at getting the puck through, getting it down to the net to give our forwards an opportunity for a next play. His deception on the offensive blue line, I think, is impressive. I think he's got good offensive instincts. He can make an outlet pass. On the defensive side of the game, I think we've got an opportunity to help grow there. That's an area where we know he can improve, and I think he's determined to do that. And so we're trying to work at that aspect of his game with him. But for me, the exciting aspect of his game is the offense.
You mentioned you wanted to see Drew O'Connor improve penalty killing and do some of those smaller things. How did he do today?
I thought this was Drew's best game. I thought he was noticeable. His skating was noticeable. He did a pretty good job in the penalty kill. He was in on the forecheck. I thought his line had a couple of real good momentum shifts. And so, for me, that's the game that he needs to play. If he's going to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins, he needs to play a straight-ahead, conscientious game. Use his size, his speed, his reach, and then get in on pucks and help us create momentum. I think he has the ability to do that for us. I thought he did that today.
With Chad Ruido and Mark Friedman, you guys have a pretty good idea of who those guys are as players at this point. So what do you look for from guys like them during these preseason games in camp as you're trying to sort out the back end of the roster?
Just performance, consistency, things of that nature. How players perform matters, and I think that's the world that we all live in. And so, performance matters, and that I think is a message that we try to relay to all of our players loud and clear. And so, everybody's got to take ownership for their own games and trying to do what they can to help the Penguins have success. And I think these guys are trying to do that.
What are your impressions of Kyle Olson in the 2 games he's played? It seems like he stood out in a good way for a guy coming down.
Yeah, so I really liked Ole's game, and I haven't been that familiar with it to this point. It's my first real opportunity to get to see him up close, and I love his energy. I think he's a good penalty killer. He makes good reads, has the ability to play center and the wing. I think he skates well. He's physical. He brings that that element to our overall team game. I think he's had a couple of really strong games for us. He's a guy that for me has really earned his way into the conversation.
Mike, I'm curious why you wanted to play Tristan in this game, because I know you have a younger boot going against Brian Chellers, and then how do you think you did? I mean, it looked like you played pretty well from what I was saying.
I thought he played real well, and we're trying to get our goaltenders ready. The first games they didn't play full games. Part of it is getting them full games. I've talked to Andy Kyoto about a game plan for both Tristan and Case in this instance, and trying to get them, make sure we get them what they need to prepare them. And this was just part of the process.